NFL Preseason Debates Countdown.
Well, we stay in the AFC East for this one. Oh, I forgot that there was a number on there. Sorry, Stu and Mike and Big Voice Guy. 13 days until the NFL season starts. We're inside of 2 weeks, people. Yes. Today's countdown and debate question is this, Perloff. Have the Miami Dolphins made a mistake by sticking with Tua?
That is so tough because I love Tua. Yes. He's entering his 4th season. Now, they were arguably the best offense in the league when he was playing last year. But there's 2 things that could happen this year. One, he gets hurt, and they squander a chance to be a really special team.
Yep.
They have incredible talent around him, and they improved their defense tremendously, added Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator. So that would be bad. Option 2, he's healthy. They do really well. Then guess what? You have to throw $250 million at the guy.
Yeah.
How long do you think he's going to play, Maggie? So this is a really fraught situation as a franchise. I totally understand what they do, and I'm a big Tua fan. I think he's a really good quarterback. He seems like a good dude. But I just worry Miami's sort of pinned into this weird situation.
I understand why they stuck with Tua. You think that it was a mistake? I don't think it was a mistake because you watched how that offense operated when he was healthy, and that is so, tantalizing. You can't unsee it. Just like we can't unsee him getting clearly a concussion in that game against Buffalo and the team calling it a back injury. We can't unsee, and I hope we don't have anything nearly as gruesome as last season because that was really tough to watch as fans and kind of made us you really had to confront what are we watching here? It's like human cockfighting. But Tua, when he runs that offense, is just so proficient. And you could say, well, anyone could run that offense.
Well, I was about to say that, actually.
Okay, you could say that, but I do think there was something extra special when Tua was there. And now here's the interesting situation. Not to get too deep into the Dolphins' depth chart here, but they ran out and immediately signed Mike White as a backup because Teddy Bridgewater also got hurt last year. Well, Mike White got hurt last year. Mike White's had concussions. Mike White's had broken ribs and not been able to play. He's not the picture of health either. It was Skylar Thompson who started the playoff game in Buffalo that they narrowly won. He's still on the roster. I understand why they stayed with him. And also, who else were they going to go after? Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah. Same injury concerns. Were you going to go with,
there's one name that stands out that we just talked about.
Aaron Rodgers.
They could have gotten in on that.
That's what I remember. I was saying. I went in the darkness retreat, and I came out and said Rodgers to the Dolphins.
And you got in my head because I think Rodgers has a great chance to be really good with the Jets. It would have been something special with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That would have guaranteed offensive fireworks. Why not? Why didn't they get? I don't think did. They not have a first round pick? Was that part of it?
Remember, it got taken away.
Yeah. So
because of the Tom Brady, the tampering thing.
Well, you wanted Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I remember actually. I'm having flashbacks to March. You're like, man, this Miami team is so good. You got to at least look at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. I was surprised that they didn't. However, I do understand why they stuck with Tua because it is so good. I guess I would say this too. I just am curious. He's added some extra muscle.
Yeah.
He's doing jiu-jitsu. Is any of this stuff going to work? Is any of this stuff going to matter?
So dubious. I mean, he's got to get rid of the ball. He cannot hold on to it at all. That's part of what the concussions were. He can't run much. It's nerve-wracking. And we're always going to be watching. I think we both enjoy watching that team play, but it's always going to be in the back of fans' minds, at least. And I can imagine the team.
So the other interesting thing is that the Dolphins have kind of been sniffing around basically every running back who has been quasi, maybe pseudo available this offseason. They have Raheem Mostert as their starter. They got Jeff Wilson. They drafted A-Chain,
Devon
A-Chain, who people are maybe expecting some fun things from.
Yeah. But and also they never run the ball at all. So that's part of it too.
I mean, Waddle's got to get 100 touches and Tyreek Hill's got to get 100. You talked about math the other day, Maggie. It's simple math. So I'm trying to do that too. But
but you're right, though. They seem to be in, at least somebody's reporting that they're in on all these guys.
Well, the report was the Colts turned down the Dolphins' offer for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the offer was.
It definitely was not a first-round pick.
No.
I would think. There's no way the Dolphins would offer that because they don't need Jonathan Taylor that badly.
Here's the thing. I don't think Jonathan Taylor will get traded for a first-round pick, but Chris Ballard, the general manager of the Colts, might be stuck in a really tough spot because it's one thing if you're just trying to get a great return on a guy and get one over on another GM. It's another if the owner, who Jim Irsay is not exactly Mr. I don't know how. It seems like he and Jonathan Taylor have a pretty bad relationship, or at least he and Jonathan Taylor's agent have a really bad relationship. Is this to the point that it's so toxic that the owner's like, I don't care if you get 50 cents on the dollar as a return here.
Yeah.
He can't be in the building. The deadline is Tuesday. He's got to be out of the building by Wednesday.
I worry that they might not even be able to get 50 cents. Because I think there are 31 other teams who do not want to pay Jonathan Taylor what he wants. It's a tragic story about running backs. Like, why is nobody's going to trade something like a second-round pick and then sign him to a contract that they're uncomfortable with. It just doesn't the math doesn't work out. Nobody wants to pay him.
Okay, but here's the thing. At least for Miami, and I know they have a lot of high-priced players at certain positions, not a quarterback. I mean, that is the one thing about having two on the rookie deal. Now, it's not going to be for long.
Not at all. I mean, it has to be this offseason.
But I'm just saying they do have, in theory, if they're not, it depends what the future holds for Tua, they may have another cheapish option at quarterback if it doesn't work out. But then it means it didn't work out and you're looking for a quarterback, which is not a great.
And also, too, you just wasted a year of Jonathan Taylor. It's a funny fit to me. It could happen. You know what team people are bringing up for Taylor is the Eagles a lot, who always try and get bargains. I got to be honest, and I'm an Eagles fan, but I would not do a trade with the Eagles. They have been ripping people off the last couple of years.
Just ask the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if this Eagles see something that maybe, but they probably called and said, I'll give you a third-round pick for him, and I think the Colts want more. I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, but how do you know Jonathan Taylor's going to even show up if you're not going to give him some kind of guaranteed money? Like at least a handshake deal or something like, hey, we're going to sign you to a future contract.
I think it's worth the risk. Unless it's a top 2 rounds pick, but I don't think that's happening because of the money. It's the money and running back. It's not the quality of player at all.
No, that's a lot to give up though for a rental.